Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. We'll talk about Huda. We'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home.
It's 8:30 in Nigeria, 9:30 in Cairo, and I believe it's 11:30 in the Gulf, but you know what time it is. You guys, it's time for Viewers Pulse. Thank you for joining me on this program, Viewers Pulse, and thank you, as always, for your support and for supporting Huda TV. You guys know the telephone numbers as usual. It is 002-0238 555 248 or 9. Of course, you can remove the country code if you're calling from outside sunny Egypt, as most of you are, inshallah. But if you're calling from outside Egypt, please keep the country code rather, which is 002 and then 0238 555 248 and 249. And I do highly encourage your calls and welcome your feedback and suggestions, because this is truly what we created this program for. So now that you have the phone number, please save it in your mobile phone and make it a habit of calling Huda TV, because that number works for all of the programs. Of course, we also have our email. I was just checking the email now, you guys, and I respond to them as soon as I can. Like I said, please email me, pulse@huda.tv, and please, more specifically, email me your videos, your personal videos, your YouTube videos, all the stuff you'd like to see on this channel. Please email me at pulse@huda.tv. Of course, we have Facebook as well, our main mechanism for feedback. That's our main connection with you guys. So please support us with that. It's facebook.com/HudaTV or Huda.tv. We have about 70,000 likes. We should have about 7 million or more, you guys. So please help us with that. It really does help us. It really does help us in our marketing and our understanding of our viewership. We don't have a Twitter yet. We will open one soon, inshallah. But in the meantime, I want you guys to get familiar with the Huda TV website, which is simply 3.huda.tv, 3Ws.huda.tv. You have all the information, the scheduling, the programs, the information about the presenters and the scholars here, all the stuff you want to know about Huda TV, you can find it there. And don't forget as well, we just opened up our own official YouTube channel, which is Huda Satellite TV. Don't be fooled by a lot of YouTube channels that claim to be our official channel. It's not. Now, why would we ask you to watch our programs on YouTube when you can watch it on TV? Well, to be honest with you, it's a convenience for you, and it also helps us as well get an idea of where you guys are viewing us from, what you would like to see. We take your feedback. We can look at the Google Analytics on there. So please subscribe to it and watch it. Having said that, this is a really special episode of Viewers Pulse, because I had the opportunity last night to interview my good friend, Dr. Stef Keris. He's the host of Europe's Forgotten Heritage, and he had just was here with us up until this morning, actually, filming an all-new program called The Spread of Islam. Now, Dr. Stef is a really interesting person. He's authored books about Islam in Europe, particularly his native country, Greece. But this program is going to include the whole Muslim Ummah, and it details the spread of Islam throughout the world, and we will air it, inshallah, all 30 episodes in the blessed month of Ramadan. That is, if Allah gives us life to see it, inshallah. Having said that, I had a special interview with Dr. Stef. I want you guys to check it out. In this interview, we just talk a lot about Dr. Stef, actually. He opens up, and he gives you guys the viewers some information about him. So I really wanted to air it on Viewers Pulse, because this is the perfect program for you to get to know the presenters here and the people here and the shayukh here. So check out this interview with me and Dr. Stef Keris. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to a special report on Viewers Pulse. I'm joined by a very special guest, a dear friend of mine, the editor-in-chief of Islamic Lifestyle Magazine, ILM. You can check that out online if you haven't already subscribed, which is at 3Ws.ilm, onlinemag.com. Don't forget to pick up his book as well, Europe's Forgotten Ottoman Heritage, a historical guide through Ottoman Greece, which is also available on Amazon.com. He's the host of Europe's Forgotten Heritage, which brings us here today because he's backed by popular demand to film an all-new program called The Spread of Islam. Of course, I'm talking about none other than Dr. Stef Keris. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Stef.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Well, the introduction was great. Can I say something?
Dr. Stef, really, you know, you filmed Europe's Forgotten Heritage with us, and we received a lot of feedback, which is why we're here talking about your new program, The Spread of Islam. But before we talk about that, can you take us back, perhaps, to our viewers who haven't seen Europe's Forgotten Heritage, and tell us a little bit about that program, and then we'll get into the new one.
Yes, Europe's Forgotten Heritage was very special, really. I mean, we went a lot into the Ottoman Empire, we went a lot into what the Ottomans left behind in the Balkan countries, in Greece. Even we discussed a bit Turkey, not too much. We went into Western Europe, how Islam actually came into Western Europe. We spoke about minorities nowadays, people who migrated to Germany in the 60s, 70s, working in factories in France or in Britain. And the new program basically makes it makes it a bigger project.
Okay.
The new program speaks about the spread of Islam as a historical, from the historical perspective. So basically starting in Mecca, Medina,
Okay.
up to the point that it even reached Australia, by the way. Indonesians brought Islam to Australia 200 years before Captain Cook arrived in Australia.
This is an
by the
amazing
way.
fact, yeah.
And this is all historical spread, right? And then the other segment, actually the second part of it, it talks about the aspect of migration, but also the aspect of conversion, reverts.
Okay.
And we have quite some of them, and they will play an important role in our society.
So in this program, instead of focusing only on Europe, you take us throughout the entire world. You didn't mention the Far East. I had the pleasure of meeting Chinese Muslims in Hajj. Do you take us through China?
Yes, we do. We mentioned actually the Tang dynasty, for example, the first dynasty, which came in contact with the Muslims, and all this through trade. I mean, it was tradespeople, it was merchants who brought Islam over there, and to most of the places in the world. So forget the sword issue and bloodshed and God knows what. All this is clearly shown on the program, and I hope that people will really see the value of the program.
SubhanAllah. You know, Dr. Stef, I noticed you carefully choose your words. You use the word Islamic or Ottoman heritage and not history. Why?
Well, history is a very broad term, okay, and history can be really anything, even up to current affairs.
Right.
Whereas heritage is really something that is there, remains, it stays behind. It's something that even indicates that something had happened.
Right.
Whereas history, as I said again, first, history can be very old, and history can be very modern, very new. It's a very broad term, it's a broader term.
Okay, I see. Also, can we say that the world, the non-Muslim world, is still benefiting from the Islamic monuments and traditions and Islamic sciences and advancements in technology? That's why we use the word heritage as well.
Well, clearly. I mean, we should not forget that the compass was invented by the Muslims, and the compass took Christopher Columbus to America. He was not the first one. He was not the first one, we should mention this. The Muslims were there already before. The Vikings were there before. And again, Australia didn't wait for the Europeans to go and discover it. It was already discovered, let's put it that way, if you want to use this term. The compass, just a very simple thing.
Right,
you know?
look at that for
So
example.
yes, without this...
But what about the Muslim, there's so many technological advances that Muslims are bringing to the world. Can we say it's time for non-Muslim societies like in Greece and Spain and Europe and America to take ownership of our shared Islamic heritage?
First of all, we have to get to know it, first of all. Most of our people don't even know about what I'm talking about. I mean, some of them are just sitting in my lectures like, what the hell is he talking about? I mean, honestly, is this all true? Is this all real, what you're talking about? So this is the first thing. The first step is what we're doing now. We're working still on the first step. The first step, the number one phase, is get to know the heritage that exists in Europe, in America, in Australia, and Africa. Now, once you get to know your heritage, then we can go on to step number two. We're still at step number one.
Can we say, what if a critic says to you, Dr. Stef, you're rewriting history according to what you see?
It's always like this. History is biased.
Right.
No doubt about it. Okay, that's always like this. Yes.
Yeah.
But again, I keep saying, if you think that I'm saying something which is not documented, then faddal, I mean, then show me the opposite or show me something else. I don't mind, you know.
Yeah, right.
Obviously, I will say my things. Yes, I see the history from a Muslim perspective. But yeah, show me please somebody who has done it until now.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
No, so I think valid. It's a valid point. No
Dr. Stef, you said the Muslims arrived in America before Columbus. Is that documented in historical fact?
It is.
And those Muslims came from where?
Well, we're talking about the period of the most probably most probably the period of the Umayyads.
Subhanallah.
Which is, well, up to 750, okay? So the period after the Rashid Khalifa up to 750. But again, in the specific, I mean, there are no detailed explanation about this one. But we have indications that the Muslims had been there already.
Okay.
So yeah.
Through artifacts and things of that nature.
There are even documents that were found with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim on them, and they were older than the ones that they found later through African slaves, for example, because they wrote treaties with the white guys, you know, and started with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, but that was later.
And we can say that the slave trade bring a large amount of Muslims there for sure.
Absolutely.
In fact, we have discovered books of fiqh written by the slaves found on the plantation, isn't that right?
That's right. A third of the slaves, and this is documented again, this is, I mean, this is a fact, a third of the slaves who were taken to Africa, who were taken from Africa to America, a third of them were actually Muslims. And all of them, or most of them, were educated people. Many of them were Hafiz Quran, many of them knew how to read and write, and they were the only ones who could actually get the other guys who could not read and write to get them up to revolt. And the biggest revolt that happened in Brazil in the 19th century was actually initiated by Muslims. The same in Suriname, the same in Guyana. So all these revolts, the slave revolts in the 19th century, were initiated mainly by Muslims. And they could have just been initiated by them because they were the ones who knew how to move on with them.
Subhanallah. Dr. Stef Keris, you are a Greek revert to Islam. Speaking about Ottoman history, how was that received in the Greek community as well as the Turkish community?
Well, I'm not there to please neither the one or the other. So basically, as somebody who's doing research, who considers himself being serious in his work, I think I have to ignore certain feelings and emotions, especially nationalistic ones. I hate nationalism anyway, and it's not part of Islam anyway. So I don't think that we should tell the truth, and if they cannot take the truth, honestly, it's their problem. Otherwise, I really have to check my bank account. Maybe I'm receiving something.
Do people accuse you of taking money from one side or the other?
Yes, they do. So the Greeks say I take money from the Turkish government, and the Turks say I'm taking money from the Greek government to say what I'm saying. The Greeks don't like the fact that I'm talking about the Ottoman Empire, maybe even in positive terms, but I do tell the truth in many things. And the Turks don't like that I rediscover or come up with things like certain sultans who were either drunkards or were not capable of ruling. But this explains the fact that there was a rise and a fall of the Ottoman Empire.
Right, so the truth hurts, we can say.
So, well, yeah, the truth hurts, yes. I'm sorry about that, you know.
Dr. Stef, I got to know you through your YouTube channel, Stef Keris 9, which I highly recommend for the viewers because you traveled through Greece and really explored forgotten Ottoman heritage sites, and it's really, truly amazing and beautiful. You dedicated your life work to a beautiful book with the same title, Europe's Forgotten Heritage, which is an amazing book. Really opened my eyes to a lot of things. What is the legacy that you are working so hard to leave behind?
First of all, we should not forget that we as Greeks, as you know yourself actually, we grew up, whoever went to Greek school, we grew up with these old-fashioned history books that show the Turk with a big mustache killing Greek innocent women. Yeah. And we all grew up with this image as Greeks, and that was the first thing that pushed me towards finding out if it's really true. That pushed me towards Islam. So actually, I should actually not be upset with them. I should be actually quite happy and congratulate them for pushing me towards Islam, mashallah.
Right.
So in the end, they did a good job. So in the end, the Greek education system pushed me to be who I am now. Truth. Sorry?
If the Greek education pushed you to learn the truth about the Ottomans, right?
Absolutely.
But how did you do that? Reading in the Greek language, all of the material is
I didn't just do it. That's it. The Greek language is very biased, exactly. Nowadays, you will be able to find, by the way, Greek material which is different. But being somebody, I grew up in Germany. So I automatically had German materials in my hand. I automatically had the language, of course, English, French, all these languages I learned, and slowly I could go into the sources and get some deeper research done on these in the languages. So this all helped me, alhamdulillah.
Subhanallah. So, Dr. Stef Keris, we have to wrap up the interview. I look forward to seeing a new program. I believe it will air in Ramadan. And how many episodes did you do?
30, exactly.
Great.
Hopefully, if Ramadan is 30 days, then every day, otherwise 29.
Inshallah. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Stef Keris. You guys stay tuned for more Viewers Pulse. In the next segment, we do have some clips of Dr. Stef's all-new program, The Spread of Islam. Inshallah, it will be airing every day this coming Ramadan, so stay tuned for more Viewers Pulse.
In a game of golf, Both the caddy and the golfer have the same goal, to get the ball into the hole. Interest-free banking is similar. With a clear view of the fairway, a predefined agreement without shifting targets, things should end up where you want them. Your deposits are safe, and your funds are ethically managed with a transparent and equitable approach to sharing risk and reward. No interest burden means more time to relax without the worry of nasty surprises. Rest assured, our interest is mutual. Jazz Bank, Nigeria's first full-fledged non-interest bank.
Every time we sit for halqa or dhikr, especially in the masjid, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will provide us with the following. نزلت عليهم السكينة, tranquility. You feel like peace of mind, comfort for your eyes whenever you're sitting in the halqa in the masjid. غشيتهم الرحمة, Allah covers this gathering with His mercy. وحفتهم الملائكة, that was stated in the previous hadith, and the angels will surround them. وذكرهم الله في من عنده.
Don't miss Dr. Muhammad Salah's all-new weekly program, Gardens of the Pious, live from 9 to 10 p.m. Mecca time every Wednesday night, only on Huda TV. I hope you guys enjoyed that sneak peek into really Dr. Stef Keris' personal life, his personal interest, and his work, his legacy, what he's working to do, and that is to portray Islam in the true light that it deserves in the non-Muslim world, as well as educated Muslims as well. I highly recommend you guys get online to www.ilmonlinemagazine.com and subscribe to his magazine as well. And stay tuned, inshallah. If we are alive this next Ramadan, I can't believe I'm already talking about Ramadan. It does seem a way off, but we will air his all-new program, The Spread of Islam. And I do have 3 nice clips in this program from The Spread of Islam that I'm going to share with you to give you guys a little bit of a, a teaser, a sneak peek, Barakallahu feek, you guys in the control. Like I was saying before, what the purpose of these three clips is to give you guys a sneak peek into this new program, The Spread of Islam. Why don't we take a look at the first clip? Go ahead, you guys. Assalamu alaikum. Enjoy it.
The general number of Muslims in Europe is most probably between 20 and 30 million, not more, with a population of 500 million Europeans. Now, that is not a massive number, but what is significant in Europe is that the Muslims play a role and are much, much more, the percentage is much, much higher in the bigger cities of Europe, especially in the capitals. If we look at Brussels, we looked at London, we looked at Paris, we looked at Athens, we looked at Rome, all these massive cities, big capitals, all of them have a high percentage of Muslims, and in specific areas the Muslims are even a majority. They are visible, of course, simply because of our women wearing hijab, many of our men having beards, even the outer appearance, the clothes and everything of the men and the women, of course, alike, are different to the host societies, dress code, etc. So that's what makes us Muslims very different to the others, of course.
I certainly hope you guys enjoyed that clip of Dr. Stef Keris talking about his program, what makes Muslims different as well. That was shot outdoors, you saw, not in the studio. We want to really step up a notch, so to speak, and his first program was so popular. We wanted to really elevate this program and give it its full right, The Spread of Islam, 30 episodes, inshallah, even one extra episode. So we'll be airing that every day, inshallah, as I said, in the month of Ramadan, as well as many, many new programs coming this Ramadan. We've been working all year since Ramadan and after Hajj in order to create lots of new programs for you and create live programs as well as recorded programs, so you guys have 12 hours all day long of all new material all day long. We have another clip from Spread of Islam, so why don't we check it out? You guys stay tuned to Viewers Pulse.
We're not talking about host countries. They are just host countries for immigrants. But as we already noted, the reverts will play a much more important, a much bigger role in their societies, in their own countries than the immigrants. And that's how it should be, actually, because we should actually take care of societies that we know best. We know our own countries better than others, so our own people, we have to go back to them and make da'wah with them and actually explain to them Islam the way that they will understand, because we are the only ones who can explain it in the best way, of course.
So as you can see, the spread of Islam is really a lot like Europe's Forgotten Heritage, but he takes it to the next level. As we said, Europe's Forgotten Heritage was just that, Europe's Forgotten Heritage. And although he did speak a little bit about Central Asia Minor in North Africa as it leads up to Islam entering into Europe. But this program, beginning in Mecca, 30 episodes, from Mecca to Medina, throughout the world, including the Far East, even Australia, the entire world, Central Asia, Europe, the Americas. And it also includes modern immigration, as he said, which is interesting as well, an interesting dynamic, as well as people converting or reverting to Islam. So I think that's very interesting. We have one more final clip, you guys, from Dr. Stef Keris' all-new program, The Spread of Islam. So check it out.
I think the Muslim in the Arab world has to understand that it will be the European Muslims and the American Muslims who will be able to go over these challenges, and they will be the ones who actually in this case will be the advisors to the Muslim world to tell them in the end how we have to deal with the Western world and how they look at us and how we can improve our image. Rather, I think we Muslim, European or American Muslims, will be able to change the image than the Muslim world itself. We understand the way of thinking in the West. We understand the people there because we are Europeans or Americans, and we will be the only ones who will be able to either make a change or to at least improve the image of Islam in the West, more so I think than in the Muslim world or the Arab world.
All right, you guys, like I said, that was Dr. Stef Keris' all-new program, The Spread of Islam. I believe that clip was taken towards the end of the 30 episodes as he wraps up the series and starts talking about reverts and immigration patterns and that sort of thing. I really like the idea of this program and the previous program, Europe's Forgotten Heritage, because it's bringing, Dr. Stef is bringing us a new historical dimension to the program. It's educational, it's academic, it's good for adults, teenagers, and youth to learn our history and learn it through a proper perspective. So this is very important, and we certainly hope it's beneficial, and we certainly hope it adds to our conventional, bouquet of programs. Our Tajweed programs, our fiqh programs, Huda Academy, all these things that are teaching all of us the Islamic sciences, youth programs, which we are trying to bring more of. Now we're adding a new dimension, which is history, and we're certainly in heritage, and we're certainly pleased to have Dr. Stef doing that for us. So please stay tuned for The Spread of Islam. And also, don't forget, on YouTube, we will upload those to YouTube as well as it airs, our YouTube channel, which is, of course, Huda Satellite TV. Please subscribe to it. Please view it. Please share the link on Facebook. Please share it with your Muslim and non-Muslim friends. That is Huda Satellite TV. Don't forget Gardens of the Pious, Dr. Salah's all-new program every Wednesday. You guys live, 8 p.m. Cairo time, 9 p.m. Mecca, and 10 p.m. in the Gulf. Also, Dr. Salah has opened up a YouTube channel by the same name, Gardens of the Pious, where you can view his Facebook episodes as well as Gardens of the Pious, inshallah. So take a look out for that. Remember to like and share us on Facebook. Like I said, you guys, that's how we really promote the channel and get an idea of our viewership and what you guys need. Remember to email me as well at pulse@huda.tv or talk@huda.tv. I answer both those emails regularly. If you have any concerns, please do so. Let me know what you have. I do have a couple emails here I'd like to read before we end the program. We have Sister Kauthar from Morocco. She says, Assalamu alaikum, Brother Malik. I'm from Morocco. I like all Huda TV programs, especially Face Islam, Viewers Pulse, The Road to Medina, which was a new program with Sheikh Rifat Muhammad, and Let's Talk as well. So I would like to thank you all for all of your efforts. May Allah bless you. Well, thank you, sister. And we also have to remember, I like what you said, thank you all, because really the guys in the control room, the guys upstairs, the guys behind the camera, me in front of the camera, all of us are working very hard. The preparation, Brother Ahmed, who put all this stuff together, all this takes a lot of work. So thank you for sharing your blessing and your kind words for all of us. My second email, of course, is Sister Zainab. Sister Zainab says, your program should be updated to include stories of all the wives of the Prophet, because right now you guys only speak about mainly Khadija, Aisha. May Allah be pleased with both of them. Please include a program with the daughters, the wives, and some female companions. I like this idea very much, and I also like the idea of doing an all-new program, perhaps, or a recorded program titled Family of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and perhaps we can do the biography of all the family of the Prophet and really be, peace be upon him, and really be beneficial. Thank you, Sister Kauta, for your email. Thank you, Sister Zainab. I encourage you guys all to give me an email and check us out on Facebook and YouTube. So I guess that's it for this episode, inshallah. I hope you guys benefited from it and enjoyed it. So until next time, I leave you in the care of Allah. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. We'll talk about Huda. We'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home.